Hey guys, so we do have the affidavit that was done from the family of Mica Miller. This first one talks about, or actually it's from her sister. I know my sister to have expressed the abuse and violence against her by her husband to others, including family members and members of the church congregation. Mica told me that there were people following her, keeping track of where she went. She thought that Mr. Miller hired people to follow her. Mr. Miller later confirmed this during a sermon I watched. Then it goes on to number 8. Mica confided in me that Mr. Miller was moving assets that were in his name, such as his vehicle, changing the deed in their house to the church, and transferring interest in Crocodile Rocks to one of his sons. In February 2024, Mr. Miller removed my sister's personal items from the home they shared while she was admitted to a mental health facility and left them at the apartment of a woman named Diana. My sister was not aware that her personal possessions had been removed from her residence until she was released from the hospital. 10. Prior to her admission to the facility, Mica was gathering and sorting evidence she had to bring to an attorney for filing for divorce to support her claim against Mr. Miller, and as to his abuse, character, his paramours, and associates he paid off or blackmailed. While at the facility, those documents, emails, files, etc., were removed from her phone, personal laptop, vehicle, and purse and never recovered. Further, Mica was unable to access her iCloud account, email, Facebook profile. Mr. Miller continued using at least one of Mica's accounts, causing any recipient to believe it was Mica's communication. 11. Mica talked about what she wanted in her life to be like following her divorce from Mr. Miller. Having traveled to a church mission this past fall from October 15th to October 27th, 2023, Mica was intending to participate in additional missions, even to live part-time in Kenya. Mica recently shipped some of her personal items to Kenya in preparation for her stay there. 12. My sister was hopeful for her future after filing for divorce from John Paul. 13. My sister also expressed to me that she was fearful that she would not make it to the divorce and that her life would be taken from her. It is my belief, based on conversations with my sister, that she told multiple people, including other family members. 14. Mica stated to me on many occasions, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it was not by me, it was JP. 15. Mica forwarded a family group text notifying us that Mr. Miller was served the divorce papers on April 25th, 2024. 16. On April 27th, 2024, my sister, Mica A. Miller, was found dead as a result of a GSW in North Carolina. I have the full support of my family in my request to be appointed as special administrator. I take this request and my potential appointment in this role very seriously. And next we have the affidavit statement that was filled out by the brother of Sierra Francis and Mica Miller. I personally appeared before me, Nathaniel Francis, who is first to be sworn to depose and states as follows. Let's just skip ahead to... Okay. I am Mica's only brother, having been raised by our parents, with our siblings. My mom and my siblings, apart from our older sister Destiny, moved to Horry County in 2007. I was aware of Mica's family dynamics and relationship with her husband, John Paul Miller, and her stepchildren. I saw Mica frequently as we both lived in Horry County and spoke to her on a weekly basis. I was also a member of Solid Rock, where both John Paul and Mica worked for several years until I left the congregation due to the behaviors I observed. Mica confided in me that John Paul moved her belongings out of their marital residence and in with Diana so that he could keep an eye on her. Following this, Mica then retained an attorney for the purposes of filing for divorce from her husband and joined a new church. I have received communications in the past from John Paul Miller stating that he knew no reason for divorce, but wanted a separation and gave reasons why. The email I received on April 3rd, 2023 included a forwarded email from Mr. Miller to Mica dated April 1st, 2023, to an email address that did not appear to be Mica's. Just 2 weeks later, Mica forwarded me an email that Mr. Miller dated April 15th, 2023, to her correct email address as shown. Mica told me of legal documents she prepared so that I would be able to make decisions for her well-being. However, the documents were never located. The only legal documents discovered appointed Mr. Miller as her power of attorney. Mica made several police reports over the last few weeks of her tires being slashed and tracking devices being found on her car. In Mr. Miller's emails forwarded to me, he apologizes to Mica for the tires and causing damage to her vehicle. Mr. Miller's email to my sister continued to state that he was angry when Mica confided or put her family before him and made him want to hurt her. In his words, quote, "When someone hurts me, I try to hurt them back rather than forgive. And instead of forgiving you, I just attack and try to cause pain." Mica told me on numerous occasions that she feared John Paul and just wanted to escape him. Our family is very supportive of one another, and especially in the time of grieving. I believe that my sister, Sierra, is the appropriate person to step into Mica's shoes and continue what was started by her, both to secure her assets and to determine her position in the marital estate.